Welcome back, all my fight fans. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for Umar Nurmagomedov versus Cory Sandhagen coming up next weekend. I'm super excited for this card. It's so stacked that I felt like it felt like more like a pay-per-view card. So I wanted to break it down for you guys. I'm just going to talk about the main card because the prelims have a lot of fighters that I'm not the most familiar with. I'm excited to watch them, get more familiar with their names. But to kick off the main card, we have Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. I'm cheering for Joel Alvarez. I've seen him fight a couple times, and he's pretty exciting. Then we have Mackenzie Dern versus Lope Godinez. I'm cheering for Dern, as I'm sure most of you guys are as well. I want to see her put a series of wins together because it would be nice to see her go, not just on a run to the title, but get the title and defend it a couple times. I feel like she has the skills to be champ. If you look at her resume, there's very, very few women on the face of the earth that have done more in the sport of jiu-jitsu than her. It sucks that she's very specialist in the way that she fights, and she sometimes runs into strikers that just give her too many problems. So hopefully she figures out the striking game. She's still fairly young. I think she just turned 30, or she's around that age. So she still has a lot of time to go on a run. So hopefully Dern can get that win. Then we have Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa. Now, if you're going to give a fight to Tony Ferguson for him to win and retire on, it's probably Michael Chiesa. That's a pretty good fight for him. It's more of a ground opponent, a guy with not too much power, somebody who you think Tony Ferguson can handle. Don't overlook Michael Chiesa because he's been given to people before, either, for a retirement fight or, as kind of a gatekeeper to the top 5 or top 10. He's kind of always been kind of one of those gatekeeper fighters, and he stumps guys a lot. This could be one of those fights where we go into it and we're kind of expecting Tony to win, and then he doesn't win. So I hope that doesn't happen. It sucks watching Tony lose over and over and over again. Obviously, I was on the Khabib side during that whole Tony Khabib era, but it sucks to watch Tony have the downfall he did because, Khabib retired undefeated as the champion, and Tony had the opposite ending to his career, it's sad, and I'd like to see him go out on a win. I just hope that he doesn't win this fight and then think that he's back and then takes another fight. Win this and go out on this. You're done, man. I know you're not 45, but you have the fighting... You have the brain of a fighter who's 45, if not 55. So please go out on this win if you win. Then we have, oh man, Marlon Vera versus Davidson Figueiredo. Ooh, that's a fun fight. Oh man, that should be 5 rounds. They should switch that to the co-main and make both of them 5 rounds. Ah man, I hope Figueiredo gets that. I think he will. I think he's just got too many tools. His tools are sharper too. His striking is... He's got more power in his strikes. His ground game's a little bit more effective. He could find submissions a little bit easier than Vera. Vera, I don't want to call him a punching bag because he's a lot more than that. I mean, he's a scary fighter in his own right. Most guys in the top 15 are going to have trouble with Vera, but I feel like Figueiredo just has that style where it's going to be too many weapons, too many things coming at Vera. I don't know if he stops him. I don't know if Vera is stoppable. Honestly, I don't know if he is. Maybe he'll get a submission. But I don't see Vera getting knocked out. But if there is a guy, it might be Figueiredo. He does have pretty scary power. And going up to 135, he's unlocking more of that power because he was losing a lot of power just draining down to 125. And even then, he was the only power puncher I've ever seen at 125 that hit quite like that. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for that fight. And then we have... time to butcher a name. Sharabutin Magomedov. That wasn't that bad. But Mikhail Oleksikujuk. That was nowhere close. That was... let me try it again. Oleksikujuk. I'm not going to even get close to pronouncing that one right. But I'm taking Magomedov because... I mean, he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. He's one of the most entertaining kickboxers right now in the UFC. That last fight he had was tremendous. The way he puts combos on people. Whew. This is another one that'll be a lot of fun. I think the Vera fight should be the co-main just because they're bigger names and the fight means a little bit more. But this Bullet fight, this will be a lot of fun too. Ooh. That's not even... We still have to get into the main event. The main event, Cory Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov is... Yeah, man. So 135 right now kind of has almost like a tournament going on. So there's this fight, And then there's the O'Malley-Merab fight, which will be at the Sphere in September. And then obviously the winners of those two fights will fight each other. Now, both of them are kind of similar matchups. You have a long, lanky, creative, crafty striker versus, a very built, thick, wrestling-heavy powerhouse in Merab and Umar. Now, I think Umar is the better wrestler than Merab, but we need to see that play out. I can't say that for sure until we watch it play out. But to me, I think that this fight is actually more high quality than the Sean Merab fight. Now, I know a lot of people will probably disagree with that, and that's kind of splitting hairs. Both fights are absolutely amazing, but I'm a little bit more excited for this fight because I think if Cory wins this, I think Cory can beat Sean in the stand-up. And if Cory wins this and he keeps Umar off of his legs, I think he could keep Merab off of his legs. So I think he could beat Merab. Now, if Umar wins this and he beats Cory, I think Umar has a pretty good shot at beating Sean. And like I said, I already think that Umar has better wrestling than Merab. I don't really have any fights to base that off of or any medal counts to base that off of. It's just my eye test when I watch both guys wrestle from somebody who's watched a lot of freestyle wrestling. I see more from Umar. So we'll see. But getting into this fight, there's a lot of X's and O's, and there's a lot of ways I could break this down. But I think the main things are going to be, this might be a little, cliche, but the main things are going to be those flying knees from Cory, if he can land them on Umar, because he's going to be looking for them for sure. Maybe not just flying knees, just regular knees as well. But knees up the middle are going to be a huge weapon for Cory because Umar is going to be looking for the takedown. If you watch Umar's last fight, besides getting rocked and wobbled for less than 3 seconds in the first round, it was basically 10-8 every single other round. Umar dominated his last opponent and left zero space for him to breathe. It was absolute domination, and I believe he's going to do that to most people. So Cory's going to be looking for those knees up the middle. He'll probably be looking for some uppercuts as well. Now, Cory is crafty on the ground himself. He's not a horrible wrestler. He's pretty good at wrestling. He's just not on Umar's level. So we'll see if he'll be able to hit any trips or transitions and get Umar on his back, but I don't think Umar will be staying on his back for long. So if we see Cory engage on the ground, I think it'll be kind of, those quick trips and transitions to scramble and get back up to his feet and keep things standing, because I don't think Umar's going to want to stand with Cory, and I don't think Cory's going to want to go to the ground with Umar. Now, can Umar get the takedowns on Cory? Well, this is going to be one of the toughest guys to get them on. It's probably going to be Cory, Jan, Merab. Those will probably be like the top 3 guys hardest to take down at 135 currently. If I had to put it in my own opinion, those will probably be 3 of the toughest guys to get to the ground. Now, Cory has been taken down before, but it's pretty rare. He has pretty good takedown defense, but I think Umar is going to be able to grab legs, take him down, and control him. When I look at both of these fighters too, I don't see Cory having the muscles to really win this over 5 rounds. The fact that it's 5 rounds too is going to be very draining on Cory. He's going to be carrying a lot of weight. I see Umar being on his back quite a bit as well. And I don't know. I don't know if Cory is going to be strong enough on the ground to get Umar off of him and to keep enough, power in his punches to, maybe knock him out in the later rounds. It all comes down to the first round, really, is like, can Umar get him down early? If he can't get him down in the first round, it could be a long night for Umar. But I do see Umar taking him down and pretty much dominating the whole fight. But it's very hard to call because, man, Cory has one of the highest IQs in the sport right now. You watch his breakdowns and stuff, and the way he talks about fighting, it's really like on the level with DJ, if not better. Like, his mind for the game is tremendous. So I'm sure he's coming in here with a game plan. It might not just be knees and flying knees down the middle. Like, he might have some other stuff for Umar that he thinks is going to work. Maybe a guillotine could work on Umar. Umar's got a pretty short neck, so I don't know about that. But, I'm sure Cory's going to be planning for this, and I'm sure Umar's going to be planning for this as well. Another thing is, like, Coach Habib and that whole group, they're starting to game plan very, very well. The Bilal fight with Leon, that was largely because of Habib's game plan that he derived for Bilal to beat Leon. And, Habib watched every single Leon fight in preparation for that to derive a game plan specifically for Leon. And it worked. Bilal for, most of the fight, there's about one round, the third round, and like 30 seconds at the end of the fifth. Besides those moments, it was complete domination for Bilal. So the Habib camp is getting better and better at that too. So Habib is kind of an MMA genius in himself. So it'll be very interesting to see these game plans clash. The clash of styles, just everything about this fight screams it being an amazing fight. So I hope it doesn't end too quickly. I hope we get, at least a few rounds out of it. But it's going to be, this is one of those fight nights you have to highlight, especially those main 3 fights. Like those main 4, honestly, like Tony Ferguson could still make a fun fight. Those main 4 fights are absolutely tremendous. I could keep talking about Cory and Umar all day, but if I'm going to have to place my money, if I'm going to have to bet on these fights, here's who I would pick. I would pick Umar by decision. I just think Cory is so well-rounded. He's so crafty. I don't know if Umar can find a finish on him, especially if he didn't find a finish in his last fight. I don't know if Umar's a finish-hungry guy. I think he's more of a take you down and dominate you kind of guy. And I just have Umar edging this out because of how good he is at the wrestling. So he's also great on the feet. So I don't want to overlook that. I said that I don't think Umar wants to stand with Cory, but Umar does have the capabilities to do that. I just don't think it's the right strategy because I honestly believe Cory might be the best striker at 135. Now I want to see the Sean fight first before I say that for certain, but it's between those two. So Umar, he could stand, but I think he's got too much power in the wrestling. I'm going to take Umar by decision. I'm going to take the Magomedov guy. Probably should go by decision because it's only 3 rounds, but I'll take him by second round TKO. He's got amazing hands, man. He could knock out just about anybody at that weight class. So the bantamweight fight between Vera and Figueiredo, I already said I'm taking Davidson. I'm going to take him by decision because it's 3 rounds and Vera's, like I said, kind of unknockoutable. So, and then the Tony fight, oh man, if I have to give an official prediction for this, not using my heart because I want Tony to win. Damn, man, I'm going to take Chiesa by decision. It's what my brain's telling me, but I hope I'm wrong. Like, I really hope Tony gets that win. But please let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think is going to go down? Who do you guys have winning these fights? And yeah, are you guys excited for this fight night next week? I'm super pumped. Like I said, I think this is almost like a pay-per-view quality. I'm super, super pumped for this one. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps boost this channel and the algorithm. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.